My name is Josh Akins, and as I've previously stated in some of my other speeches, I'm a United States Army veteran, and I used to also work for the South County Sheriff's Department. So the topic we're going to cover today is something that I learned both in the service and something I learned as being a cop, and something that I carried over into my recreational life. With that being said, I like to go hunting. I plan on going this weekend for opening season. I don't know if any of you guys are doing the same or not, but if so, good luck. So the topic we're going to cover today is how to tear apart one of my weapon systems. The reason you tear apart a weapon system, make sure it's functional, make sure it's clean for your safety, make sure it's functional and safety for everybody else's use, and more than likely just to make sure the supply sergeant's happy when you turn your weapon system back into supply. So without further ado, I'm just going to hop right into it and bring out my personal AR-15. This is my Rock River. I've had it now for about 5 or 6 years. So the first thing you always want to do is make sure the weapon system's clear. So we're going to pull back on the charging handle, visually inspect it, and now we know this weapon system's clear. So on the outside, you can see I have a couple extra add-ons. I have a light that I brought back with me from Afghanistan. I have an EOTech that I purchased sometime over the course of the past 5 or 6 years. No big deal. We're not going to so much worry about taking those things off today, just because I have them kind of set up for me, and it's not really important to the functionality of the weapon. So looking at this, on the outside you have the lower and you have the upper. To separate these two things, you have two pins you just kind of pull out here, and it just takes the two apart. Hopefully mine will work for me, because my one pin is kind of being a pain. So here we go. This is the lower part of the rifle. In the lower, you have your trigger housing assembly. So in here you have all of your components of the trigger. So if you have an issue with the trigger or want to do any work to it, that's kind of where you get into. On the back side, you have your stock. This stock is adjustable up to 6 positions. And to take that off, you just kind of pull it out, slide it right off, and it comes right out. Now inside this piece here, this is where it houses your buffer tube. Excuse me, this is your buffer tube. So inside here you have your buffer and your buffer spring. And you have just a little notch that you push down, and you can pull that buffer spring right out. So then you take these two guys apart, and you can go ahead and clean those up and make sure everything's working. This helps with the recoil of your rifle and make sure that it kind of functions and keeps cycling through the rounds and stuff consistently. That's all I'm going to show you on the lower. There's not a lot to do on that. Again, you can take apart the trigger if you want to, but that's neither here nor there at this time. So with the upper, to take it apart, you have your hammer. Excuse me, you have your charging handle. I don't know why I just call that a hammer. You pull your charging handle slightly back, kind of lift up on it a little bit, and then all this stuff comes out of your upper. So now I have just the upper. I have a couple things on here still, like I said, my flashlight, my EOTech that we're not going to mess with. And then in my hand, we have the charging handle. It comes right out. And then you have your bolt carrier group. So this is what pretty much makes your weapon fire. We're about to take this thing apart, but inside here you have your firing pin, you have your extractor, and all the cool stuff that makes your weapon fire and then pulls the round out of your system. So with this guy here, we have a couple of different things. For one, on this little side here, you have what's called the fire pin retaining pin. It's pretty much just a small little cotter looking pin. And if you lose that, then I'm pretty sure your NCO or your supply sergeant will definitely let you know about it. So that guy, you just pull it right out, put it somewhere safe so you don't lose it, and then your firing pin comes right out. This is obviously the piece that strikes your weapon, or strikes your cartridge and fires your bullet. So now in my hand, I still have the bolt carrier group and the bolt. So in the bolt carrier group, you have this little rectangle piece here. It's kind of hard to see. If you're in the classroom setting, I'd be more than happy to pass this around or people will come up and check it out. But we're doing what we can for now. So with this guy, you take this little rectangle piece, you kind of rotate it, kind of pop it into your hand, and it comes right out. What that does is makes it so you can take your bolt out of your bolt carrier group. So now we have the bolt carrier group. There's nothing much left of this guy. If you're in arms, you can take that apart, kind of clean it out a little bit better. But that's pretty much all you need to do to make sure your weapon's functional, and you can clean that pretty well. So this little guy here, this is actually your extractor. I may have just called it a bolt a second ago, but this is actually your extractor. So with this, you have these little fins. It's actually what helps catches the weapon, catches the cartridge and ejects it from the weapon system and keeps it cycling. Now in here, you have a little pin that's also very tiny. Will get you in a lot of trouble if you lose it. But I just pretty much took my firing pin, pushed that guy out, and it'll come right out as soon as I can get a grip on it there. Push that guy out a little bit, put a little pressure on the extractor, and it comes right out. So now we have this little pin, we have our extractor, and then our extractor piece comes right out. So out of all of that, It's pretty much all you need to do to take part in AR-15 for cleaning. Now you can check the weapon for functionality, check it for cleaning or whatnot. For the sake of time, we're not going to put it back together. Pretty much follow the steps in the exact opposite order, and you will have a functional AR-15 again. So again, my name is Josh Akins. Hopefully this video helped you kind of walk through the how-to on how to break down my AR-15 Rock River. So thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day.